Now to a surprising turn, Ticketmaster and its parent company, Live Nation, reached a settlement with the Department of Justice today in the middle of its high-profile antitrust trial.
The DOJ and 40 states first sued Live Nation in May 2024. They allege the concert giant maintained an illegal monopoly over the live entertainment industry, which Live Nation denied.
And notably, the judge said the term sheet had been executed last Thursday, which he said the parties failed to disclose as the trial continued. He said that showed absolute disrespect for the court and was absolutely unacceptable. Joining us now, Morning News Now anchor Savannah Sellers, who's been tracking this story. Also with us, NBC News legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, I'll start with you and maybe dig into the origins of this settlement, because the DOJ's lead counsel even said he did not see the term sheet until this morning. The word that comes to mind is unusual. What exactly transpired here? What have we learned?
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if there had been settlement discussions going on, that this case was on a dual track for a very long time. The trial's coming up. They have to move forward. But there's always in the back burner of the DOJ trying to make an agreement with Live Nation in this case. So not surprised about that. It sounds like the way that it actually came together was a little bit unorthodox in the sense that they came to an agreement, but this term sheet was not memorialized and wasn't in the hands of the right people and wasn't reported to the judge. But important to note, a term sheet is just the essential terms of the agreement. It's not the full and final agreement. Ultimately, the court needs to approve that.
Savannah, what is in this full and final agreement? Do we know?
We are waiting to get the actual agreement to be able to tell you exactly. But what I think is important here and sort of nuance for people who may have been following this and think like, oh, does this just mean, better prices for my favorite artists to go to their concerts? Now, not necessarily. A lot of what is actually in here has to do with some of the sort of inside baseball stuff that was happening between Live Nation and Ticketmaster, where they essentially had exclusivity over certain venues. And there you go. They're going to be needing to divest from 10 of those venues, 10 plus amphitheaters. Also prohibiting retaliation against venue that then selects another ticket distributor. That was really where some of this price gouging was going on, is the fact that Live Nation Ticketmaster essentially owned all pieces of the puzzle when it came to these concerts, selling the tickets, the venues, and then promoting those shows. That may eventually be felt by the consumer, but we'll have to see. Importantly, though, what this means, at least at this point, is that Ticketmaster and Live Nation are not breaking up. That was the big concern. Should this trial have continued.
And what did it mean where it says third parties can now sell? Like who?
Yes, so that's essentially like these other companies that you hear about, SeatGeek, StubHub, essentially being able to also sell some of those tickets. They're no longer going to have exclusivity over all of them.
And then, Misty, in a statement we've heard from Attorney General Letitia James, who said in part that my Attorney General colleagues and I have a strong case against Live Nation. We will keep fighting this without the federal government. Translation, could this still go to trial?
Yeah, absolutely. On this, the states that joined in this case. Remember, this case is brought by the DOJ, and then a whole bunch of states who also felt that they had viable claims joined in this case, but they are not bound by this agreement with the DOJ. So the state cases can actually go on. They have the option of joining, and there would be financial penalties that Ticketmaster would pay states that do join. But if they don't want to, like New York, like what Letitia James said, they can pursue that case and bring that all the way to trial.
Savannah, so just quick, for the average concert goer or someone buying tickets out there, are they going to see a noticeable change, do we think?
So a senior DOJ official said this morning that is why they got to this point in the settlement, is because they do think that this is going to mean lower prices for consumers and get the American consumer relief. That was their language this morning. It remains to be seen, right? We've got to see that actually there's competition in the marketplace, and therefore it's not like Ticketmaster just gets to set the price and that's it, or tack on those fees. Again, though, importantly for the consumer, where you really also often are hurt in buying those tickets is the secondary market, which none of this is really getting at.
The resale.
Yeah. All right. Savannah Sellers, Misty Marris. Thank you both.